It's 7:26. Cynthia once again disgusted right before we come out to talk about insects. We're watching, are these honeybees?
Yes.
Okay, we're watching
these are honeybees.
A little honeybee hive, and they're carrying some deceased bees around on the bottom, and then that led you to talk about how hygienic bees are. Tell us the story again.
So what we were looking at is a picture of a bee actually carrying a dead bee, and that bee was probably trying to find an exit to this hive so it could take that bee outside. And that job of that bee is called an undertaker.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Crazy.
Yeah.
Huh.
Perhaps we should introduce our...
Oh, yeah, I forgot I got the yellow rain thing.
Sorry.
This is Michelle.
Hello.
This is Michelle Duanes and Tara McGill.
Yes.
Okay, they're from the Department of Entomology. They're graduate students. They came to talk about National Pollinator Week. And so why don't you guys tell us about what your events coming up are, and then we'll talk about the bees.
Okay. One of the things that we've been had going on all of June is that we've been at the Urbana Market at the Square. We have a booth there every Saturday in June talking about pollinators, promoting all the events that we have this year. But we also have some other things going on.
Yeah,
If
so
Tara wants to talk about it.
one event that we're really excited to promote is we're going to have identification tags on certain foods in a couple local grocery stores. So we're going to be having tags on foods that are made possible because of pollinators.
Huh.
So this will be at the Food Co-op in Urbana, and also they'll be at the Schnucks on Mattis in Champaign. So you should keep an eye out for those. And while we were making the signs, we were actually really surprised on really what a wide variety of foods that pollinators really impact.
What was the most surprising one of the list that you put together?
So one of the really neat stories is about agave. It's actually, so it's the main thing that, how we get tequila, and that is pollinated by a bat. And
Really?
Yep, and it's just pollinated by this one bat. So without that bat species, we wouldn't have tequila. So when you're on Cinco de Mayo having a margarita, you should toast to that little pollinator that
Thanks
made
to
the
the
drink
bat.
possible.
Man. Very cool.
We
No
also
wonder
have
they fly so weird.
We also have a lot of other events going on during the week of Pollinator Week. We have 2 music performances, one of which I'll be involved with a graduate student in music composition, Barry Morse. We're putting on a performance on Friday night. And then on Saturday, we have some kids' events during the day, and then we're having the Duke of Uke, which is a local band, perform at our Pollinatarium, which is our pollination museum on campus that you may or may not have heard of. You can't see it. It's on the corner of Windsor and Lincoln, but you can't see it from either of those roads. But once you go down the driveways, you'll immediately recognize it because it's covered with a mural of different pollinators.
Very cool.
The pollinators just running rampant around the museum? Or?
We have a native prairie, a restored prairie next door to the pollinatarium, so you can see lots of pollinators there in the spring and summer.
The music performance, is that going to be in the key of B? Thank you very much.
Unless you step hard and it's B flat. And you guys have a website, right, to look at all this stuff at, right?
Yes, it's www.life.illinois.edu/entomology/pollinator.
And that has all those events.
Is this
on it.
this is a national deal then, or is this something that you guys are doing locally?
So the week is actually nationally recognized. However, a bunch of us graduate students at the University of Illinois decided that we really wanted to promote this week, specifically in Champaign-Urbana, so we have specific events towards pollinators for the whole week.
So be nice to, you never know what a pollinator might be. Be nice to everything. Okay, tell us about the bees now.
Do you want to talk about that?
Sure. So what we're looking at is a honeybee frame. A typical honeybee hive can have upwards of 10,000 bees in it. And you'll see a bunch of bees. They kind of just like they're, hanging out right now. But the great thing about bees is they actually have a very in-depth degree of specialization. So they specialize on different tasks, like going out and foraging for pollen or nectar, like the undertaker job that we talked about. And what we're looking at is just a bunch of worker bees right now. So these are a bunch of females, and there is a queen bee that I actually just spotted on this side here. And then you can actually see a couple drones. So drones are the male bees, and they actually don't help out in any of the work.
Huh. I wonder why. Yeah, exactly.
So where's the queen?
She's in here somewhere. She's got the remains of a white dot. We mark the queens every year with a dot, but this one, she's been around for a little while, so she has to have her dot reapplied from last year.
Yeah, she just curled up. She doesn't really like the light, you know. She likes to hide in the dark.
She doesn't like being in the spotlight. So how many bees are in this hive? Is it a hive?
1, 2, 3.
This
Colony
is a frame.
frame.
Yeah, so there are about probably 1,000 to 2,000 bees here. They're
Wow.
on both sides. Yep, and they're walking on comb, on honeycomb.
Actively making honey then, right now?
Yep. So
yep.
You want to talk about?
So how they make honey is they go out and they collect nectar from flowers, and they bring it back, regurgitate it into a cell, and then they go through a process of removing the water by making a droplet on their tongue. A little bit of water evaporates. They suck it back in and suck it back out, and that's how you get honey. And they also chemically break it down inside of their crop, which is where they store the honey.
Great.
So you're getting double bee.
I was going to say, I'm going to have like an English muffin with peanut butter and honey or something for her. Get it all in one.
Go.
All right.
Tara, Michelle, Jesse, thanks for coming in today, talking about
Thank you.
pollination and bees. And on my part, thanks for making her make great faces. We'll be right back.